If you have any intention of shopping for Christmas, you may have to start making your way to the nearest shopping mall as Black Friday sets in. We're live in the major markets this afternoon.
And it may be a marginal adjustment, but this afternoon we're checking in with you about the impact of the latest utility tariff review on your purchasing power.
Those are our big stories in this Friday edition of News Central.
I am Mawuena Egbeta.
And I am Keminni. Amanor. News Central starts right now. In our first story, government's push for a regulation to restrict the importation of some 22 strategic products is facing a pushback from the minority caucus in Parliament, who are demanding further consultations with the subsidiary legislation committee. The minority's fear is that the power to grant these exceptional waivers for the imports may become a breeding ground for corruption. Listen, what else do we know about this issue, particularly those being raised by the minority? Let's take a look at that. We know that the minority is asking that there be further consultation on this matter. In 2022, rice imports were valued at $560 million US. In 2021, there were $552 million worth of rice imports into this country. It gives you a view of why the minority is asking for further consultations on this matter. Some other figures we have for you: in 2020, rice imports were about $560 million, just about a 2022 figure. In 2019, there were $365 million worth of rice imports to Ghana. Well, now that you know how important rice importation is to this country, let's talk about the farmers, retailers and consumers, particularly those in northern Ghana who have backed the decision of the government to ban the importation of rice into the country. For them, the rice value chain will best improve if more investments are made in the local industry. Let's talk to Christopher Mwako, who's joining us from up north on this matter. Christopher, what else have the farmers been telling you?
Yes, so Keminni, the farmers are talking about the fact that even as they welcome the decision by government to ban the importation of rice into the country, they also want government to invest more into local rice production, because for them, farmers have the capacity to be able to produce as much as the country will need. And so they welcome the decision. I have been engaging the 2021 National Best Farmer and some other retailers in the northern region, and they have this to say.
I see. We'll take a listen to that interaction you had with the farmers in the northern region. But let's come back here to the capital because we know that our Emmanuel Samani has been speaking to some rice retailers here in Accra. Emmanuel, talk to us about what they have been telling you about this intended restrictive ban on imports.
Right, thank you very much, Keminni. So I'm currently at the Malam Atal market, and this zone or hub is known for a lot of rice trade. And I've been interacting with some of the dealers here, and they've been telling me about how dire this move is to their business and how it could likely collapse their businesses. Because if you take a look behind me, you would see that this retailer, for instance, sells mostly rice that have been imported from either Thailand or Vietnam or even China. And she's here with me, and I just want you to hear from her firsthand how this move will really affect her business. Hi. So I came to you earlier, you were telling me about how the restriction on the importation of rice will affect. Just run by us how it would affect your business.
Talking from Malata, You know, Ghanaians, we don't like our country rice. We like the one that's imported from other countries, and it will affect our business because make it will make our business.
It will collapse your business, isn't it? Yeah, right. So, Keminni, as you can hear from one of the retailers, she says that the restriction on the importation of rice will really affect, and if not, collapse her business, because most of the retailers here do not deal in locally produced rice. Let me just quickly bring in one more of the traders here. And I spoke to her earlier, and she was indicating to me that she does not, do, she does not deal in local rice. And so, Mommy, I came to you earlier. You said you don't. Oh, you're alive. You're live on TV. We're live on TV. So,
Emmanuel, I see that at this point she does not want to speak to us. But in your conversations with her, what did she say?
So in my conversations, she was telling me that because she does not deal in the local rice, her business is literally going to collapse because it's all imported rice here and there. And so she does not think that she will be able to sustain her business should. Okay, so I think we have another rep from this very business. Because I came to you earlier, we're talking about the impact of the restriction of the importation of rice. Just tell me, how does that make you feel as a business owner who imports predominantly some of these restricted rice that we're going to be seeing?
It will affect the business because already we don't have it on besides this price that they will bring it. So we that we are selling to the final consumers, if you buy it at a high price, you can sell it. Likewise, the perfume rice is down in terms of the price. So if the customer comes, the customer will prefer buying the perfume rice in terms of the price issues. Assuming the local rice that we are not importing it from the other country, in the same country, the price is too high, and with restrictions in the importation rice that are too cheap for consumers to buy, and they are putting restrictions on it. I mean, it's the business seriously, besides the economy.
Right. So you've heard from the horse's own mouth, from the very people who deal in this trade. They talk about, the high cost of the local produce. They talk about how it's going to affect their business, and also the taste for the imported rice as well. So it remains to be seen if indeed this CI will pass, and we'll see how it is going to affect traders here around the Malata market.
Emmanuel, my thinking is when you have rice for lunch today, you'll be thinking about this as well. Thank you for the great reporting. I want to take us back to the northern region where Christopher Amwako is on standby. Christopher, what have the retailers there been telling you?
Okay, so for the retailers, they believe that, when the imported rice gets into the country, it is a bit cheaper than the local rice. And for that matter, when people come, because of the poverty levels here, they choose to buy the imported one because they will go for cheaper products due to their financial standing. So, but they believe that if the local farmers are given the necessary support, they will be able to produce, because talking about the health implications of taking the local rice, they believe that the local rice has some level of health impacts to their bodies, and for that matter, they would rather go in for the local rice. Like I have been engaging some of the farmers as well as the retailers, and they have been commenting on the matter.
As a farmer, I'm fully in support of the ban of importation of rice. If nothing at all, there should be restriction on importation. I'm fully in support of the ban of importation of rice. If nothing at all, there should be restriction on importation, because if you look at currently, we are harvesting no market for our paddy rice. because of massive importation of rice into the country. So this policy government is taking, we are fully in support, and it is a very good policy in the right direction. Because if the rice is banned, we know productions will go high, and then we can feed the country. Looking at the quantum of money Ghana imports rice, I learned it's about $1.5 billion per year. If this money is invested back into agriculture in Ghana, I believe in the next few years, everybody will be employed and the country will be self-sufficient.
But, you know, as this one is there, most people demand this one more than the local rice. So we sell those that will also produce this one, the local rice, and come and sell it for us. They will also now get more, they will also increase their production.
From the government in Chela, the senior shinkafana, Katidda Bashinkafana, the Bashinkafana, the metal as you come. Then to do the way Shinkafanama, Kabazanchen Nimani, and to know the Tima, and the Abgare, that among the senior shinkafana, Kabayun for a Zanlena, Karadad high, Katichetti young at the Bandema, Kadzirama, to perform it in Initial Sahashan, what the young at the Bashinkafana, the Bapanon, the Padama Pakanatanga. Those are them in the point to Natizra, then make a lot.
Gotta say, we lost that connection with Christopher Mwako from Northern Ghana, who brought us that clip from farmers and retailers of rice here in Ghana.
Right, we're taking you now to the Ashanti region because property worth about 300,000 cedis has been destroyed by land guards at the Sokoban wood village. Helpless occupants of the wood village say they will petition the Asantehene Otumfuo Setutu II to restore order and smoothen the difficulties that has resulted in the second phase of redevelopment there. William Evans Zinkum, he's been following this story for us since Thursday, has been monitoring development from the Sokoban wood village and is joining us via Zoom right now. William, talk to us. For starters, you've been, like I've been mentioning, you've been following this story for us. What is the current development at the wood village this afternoon?
Well, so Mawuena, this is a 3-page document called It's a petition, chronicling events of the past, especially yesterday when a gang of land guards stormed the site of the second phase redevelopment project site and vandalized some structures. And now they're estimating the loss to be over 300,000 Ghana cedis. And of course, at the tail end of this particular document, they're also making a passionate appeal to the overlord of the Ashanti, Otumfuo, to intervene because they are gradually losing what they deem theirs, and that is a 14-acre piece of land for the second phase redevelopment of the Sokoban wood village. Now they are saying that over here, they are estimating their numbers to be 20,000. Of course, we cannot independently verify that. We don't have data. They are telling us that they have over 20,000, and the place has become very choked. The more reason why they will have to, redirect their attention to the second phase project site, where it's not far from here, about a kilometer away from here, and that is where they are going to do that kind of resettlement. Now, they are saying also that they are losing value for their capital. The more the project delay, because now it has become more or less a litigation, and they cannot stand, the fact that litigation normally is protracted. They cannot stand for, waiting for that longevity as to when this whole thing will, be calmed so that they will get that particular piece of land here. The more reason why they are making a passionate appeal to Otumfuo. And so exactly that is what they are saying now.
Right, Evans, help us understand, they are in litigation with who in particular? Because there's a mention of land guards who've destroyed properties running into thousands of cities. Who is this other person who is challenging the second phase redevelopment of the area? All
right, so for want of a better understanding, as far as our viewers are concerned, the whole issue is that in 2009, I mean, wood sellers, carpenters, and of course, those who deal with, let me say, lumber sellers, were relocated from the Amanor junction to the Sokoban wood village, just to pave way for a road project. So that was in 2009. This piece of land was given to them, and then they were also given an extra 14 piece of land just in case their numbers grow and they would need to develop it for the second phase of, the Sokoban Wood Village project. Now, according to them, they are overwhelmed, talking about the executive, overwhelmed by the numbers here. So they would need the other land, which is a 14-acre piece of land, to develop, and then also host other carpenters and then wood sellers who are also coming in. They have started the project. All that they needed was to, engage Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, who are managers of this particular place. And if that leeway is guaranteed, then they will go ahead and then redevelop that particular piece of land. In fact, a couple of days ago, Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly gave them that opportunity to go ahead and redevelop the land. Only 2 days ago, a gang of land guards, whom we are told allegedly were sent by the Tase Odikro, who is the custodian of the land by tradition, to stop them from redeveloping the 14-acre piece of land. Of course, we all saw with pictures, vandalized structures and weather view.
Right.
And they are saying that it is a breach of, agreement with Menchia, and for that matter, they are petitioning Menchia to come in so they can have unfettered access to the 14-acre piece of land so they can redevelop.
Right, Evans, just briefly on this petition to the Otumfuo, have they stated a date to which they want to have this done and how quickly they might expect a resolution from him?
All right, so my understanding is that after addressing the press, leadership will meet Otumfuo. Yesterday Otumfuo was at Brekum for the dossier of the late Brekum, the paramount chief of Brekum. Now he's back, and my understanding is that either today or Sunday, they will meet Otumfuo and present that petition to officially also inform Otumfuo what has happened.
Right then, William Evans Nkum is my colleague from the Sokoban area, providing a bit more details there for us in relation to litigation over land for the Wood Village operators who are seeking to expand their territory in that part of the country. This is News Central from our studios here on the John Hammond Street. We're going for a break. When we return, conversations in relation to tariff increment and decrease, all of that and more if you stay with us here on News Central.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo paint as compared to other paint brands on the market. We take equal quantities of Flamingo paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now, let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo superior paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
The Bitcoin conference is back in 2023 and it promises to be bigger and better than ever before. Join us from the 1st to 3rd December at Keminni Hotel in Accra, Ghana, the arena of the Accra International Conference Center, for a 3-day event that will bring together high-profile personalities in the fintech industry. Network with like-minded individuals, attend insightful talks, and learn from some of the brightest minds in the Bitcoin ecosystem. So mark your calendars, the African Bitcoin Conference, 1st to 3rd December at the Keminni Hotel and the Accra International Conference Center Arena in Accra, Ghana. Don't miss it.
Not the PI at the Bonima Chino. Nanswane, yet try me maximum regular hair relaxer, free olive hair moisturizer cahono. My bra was son. Me the maximum olive hair moisturizer no from maximum regular hair relaxer no na me dear family trini na say. Maximum regular hair relaxer ye trini ase juma mani yemre. Motso na atnitine no so kama. Me also the maximum's rich hair pomade ye mi trini na say. Na amanan say, amanembubu na amanantitin so. Afedia mi trini na ashrin. Emu so ye drew. Maximum super hair relaxer so ko homa wana wo trini na ding. Maximum hair relaxer because you are the max.
FD Adredi and Craft.
BB Entertainment presents another classic stage play titled Course 90. Feature.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Your name?
Dr. So.
You?
General Tatia. General.
Bank account?
IDE Bank.
You, house number?
Boss, we are just traveling to Kumasi. Why all this information? Just give us the ticket and we can sit in the car and go. What was the meaning of this?
This car will move. People will die, leg here, head here. When you are searching for the body, nobody to find the body. That's why we take details.
I'm sorry.
I beg when you die, who go? Hey, sorry, your next of kin.
But small travel, we are traveling. So that does it mean we are going to die?
You are not going to die. I am not. Last week, this one, last week, you know how many people died?
Live at the National Theatre of Ghana on Saturday the 25th of November at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Rate is a cool 100 Ghana cedis. For tickets, dial *447 *1096# to purchase across all networks. The Two Idiots are back. Course 90 is a psychological thriller.
This Sunday on Hot Issues.
People think that Dr. Bawumia has lied to them. They think that Dr. Bawumia has not shown the competence he promised.
Well, I think you are falling into the trap of stereotyping. When we had Dumso, did you guys lay the blame at the doorsteps of John Mahama, who was the vice president? Did you blame him for Dumso? Did you ever mention John Mahama's name? Because you're the head of the economic management team.
The NPP sold Dr. Bawumia during this campaign period as the economic messiah, the economic whiz kid who will change things for us.
The management of the economy is at the behest of the person who wields executive power. The vice president is only to advise his boss. The buck stops with the boss.
Do you have personal ambitions to be running mate for the NPP?
The man knows me, he knows my competencies, he knows my credentials. If he thinks that I'm the right person, it's his choice.
Hot Issues shows Sundays at 2 p.m. on TV3.
TV3, first in news.
It's Glad you could stay with us here on News Central. We'll take you now to Parliament, where one of the sponsors of the anti-LGBTQ plus bill, Helen Ntoso, has bemoaned the lack of urgency attached to work on the bill. She contends that the undue delay in relation to considering the bill is unacceptable, considering the wide public interest in this bill. Let's speak to Duke Mensah-Poku, who's a parliamentary correspondent on the ground. Duke, what are the concerns being raised by the MPs over the delay of this controversial bill?
This concern was raised during the reading of the business statement. The business statement essentially captures what Parliament seeks to do in the succeeding week. So for next week, whatever Parliament will do, it is presented on Friday, right? So it was after the presentation of the business statements that the Member of Parliament for Karachi was Honorable Adjuan Toso, who is one of the 7 sponsors of the very popular anti-LGBTQI bill, shot up on her feet and expressed a concern as to why the bill is not getting the needed urgency it requires, that it is a matter that concerns Ghanaians of grave concern to the public, and so there should be some sense of urgency associated with the bill, on the floor of Parliament. She expressed her disappointment with the chairman of the committee for not updating the plenary, the floor of Parliament, as to what really is holding back the bill, and is demanding that it be put back on the front burner, be put back on the agenda of Parliament as quickly as possible, because this is a bill that is of grave importance, of interest to the Ghanaian public, and they would want to see some action on it. So she's one of the 7 members proposing the bill, and she raised that concern on the floor of Parliament today. Apart from that, the budget debate, as I speak to you, has resumed. Defense and the interior sector is taking the front burner today, and is being debated as we speak. The Honourable Member of Parliament for Busa North, James Agaga, is on his feet on the floor of Parliament debating as we speak. If we can take a bit of his statement on the floor of the House.
We'll keep an eye on that story.
Now, to what some would describe as good news, because for the first time in a while, you will pay less for your electricity, at least over the next quarter. That's according to the Public Utility Regulatory Commission, which has announced a 1.5% reduction as part of its quarterly review of utility tariffs. That good news will not transcend to those who pay for water, as there is a 0.34% increase in the cost of water. What reasons are accounting for the PURC's reduction? Well, the PURC, amongst many things, says that it has been considering a number of things, and perhaps we'll start off with what the considerations were for water. And so for the period affected, which is December 1 to 2023 to February 29, 2024, water tariff is expected to be increased by 0.34%, and affected customers will be residential, non-residential, including commercial users, sachet water producers, public standpipes, amongst others. And so that's it for water, and like we've been telling you, that's on your screen right now, a 0.34% increase. Let's bring in Collins Nyama. He's the Deputy Managing Director of the Ghana Water Company Limited. Pick thoughts from him briefly. Mr. Nyama, many thanks for joining us in studio. Let's start off with the percentage in increment, 0.34%. Is that enough for you as a Ghana Water Company? I can almost hazard a guess as to your response, but I'm asking nonetheless.
Well, thank you very much for having me, and then a very warm afternoon to our cherished listeners. Well, like I said, it's never been okay, but we appreciate this slight increment to 0.34%. But of course, we're going to work with it. We understand that this is what we can have. We would have reached that, would have gotten a higher increment, but upon further deliberations and their own adjustments, they gave us 0.34% upward adjustment, and we'll do with it. It's not enough, but we'll do with it.
Not enough, but you do with it. There are those who are making the argument that it's marginal, but we're not even getting the water that we want to get from the Ghana Water Company, and so if possible, there shouldn't have been an increase at all. How do you respond to persons in Accra who make arguments like that?
Well, yes, I share in their concerns, but I also disagree to an extent, because the amount of water that we are able to abstract is what we treat and then sell to the people of Ghana. Would have wished that we'll have enough water to abstract and then provide our homes, and both residential and non-residential, with the number of water, the volumes that they require for their daily services. But unfortunately, as a company, we are doing our best within the circumstances. There are areas that we cannot even get enough water to abstract and treat. So the very volumes we are getting is what we are managing to bring to the good people of Ghana.
I know illegal mining has been one of the things which has proven a difficulty for you in water treatment. You've just been saying that you're not getting enough water. Is it just a case of Galamsey affecting your access to good enough water for treatment and then onward distribution to homes?
It is not necessarily Galamsey, but it's a major factor in our inability to have enough water to abstract. But there are other factors accounting for the low volumes that we are able to produce to the good people of Ghana.
What are the factors?
We have pipes that have been laid as far as back in the 60s. Some of the pipes that have been laid in the 70s have not been replaced. So, and this boils down to availability of funds. So we don't have enough funds to expand our infrastructure. There are areas in Accra and other places, other regions that we cannot even pump volumes into the pipes because they are so rusty to the extent that if we pump, they are going to be health crisis. So as Ghana, as a company, through our internal generated funds, we are doing our best to change some of these pipelines so that we can have enough water for the good people of Ghana.
When you say internally generated funds, I'm a bit conflicted. You're selling the water, you've been selling for quite a while. What is your books looking like to be able to help you deal with some of these challenges, laying of pipes, replacing faulty pipes and the likes?
If people will recall, in October, during the accounting to customers, my managing director, the good engineer, Dr. Clifford Bremer, mentioned that our revenue has gone up. But in spite of our revenue going up, we still have challenges. Challenges in the sense that there are a lot of money sitting out there with our customers who are reluctant to pay us, both residential and non-residential, and for which we are determined to go after our money in order for us to be able to use this money by the company to expand access to all people in terms of water delivery.
Your revenue has gone up, but it appears that your challenges is looking like it's far outweighing all of the revenue that you're generating. What's the plan going forward? Because I live in Accra, and in parts of Accra where I live, the Ghana Water Company does not reach some of these areas to provide water. What's the plan going forward as you continue to receive some of these marginal increments?
Let me make this clear. Ghana Water Company Limited has its own mandate. There are areas we are mandated to supply water services to the urban parts of the country. So there are areas that our mandate does not go there. In such areas, community water services is there to supplement the efforts of Ghana Water. But of course, areas of that are within our mandates, we are doing everything possible to have availability to funds so that we can also extend our services to these areas. We know that Accra is fast growing and there are areas that need water. At Ghana Water Company Limited, we are committed to providing water to all other areas across the country as far as the urban centers and our mandate is concerned. It is for this reason that Ghana Water Company Limited, we have launched our operation, which is called Operation Pay or Get Disconnected. We are saying that now it is a time to be able to have enough funds to be able to extend services to areas that are looking for services. And of course, the three people say, whatever you do, you need money. We need money to extend pipelines to other areas like you are saying, in your case, so that we'll be able to bring quality water to the good people of Ghana. So we are also going on a pay or get disconnected policy. Right. That everybody who owes us, if you don't pay, we are going to disconnect you so that we'll be able to retrieve our monies in arrears and bring good services to the good people of Ghana.
I look forward to the pay or disconnect revenue measure that you're bringing about. But many thanks to Sanyama for joining us in studio. That's Mr. Sanyama is a Deputy Managing Director of the Ghana Water Company. And we're staying on the subject matter because organized labor has called on the PURC to further reduce utility tariff to save the total earnings of workers. Leadership of labor have been reacting to the recent increment by the PURC, which pegged, or reduction rather, which pegged the reduction in electricity at 1.5 and then that of water increasing by 0.34%. Let's speak to Labour Affairs correspondent Daniel Opoku, who's been engaging the thoughts of Labour. Daniel, many thanks. What else has been groups over the latest adjustment as we've seen it?
Right. So good afternoon to you, Mawuena. It is important to also highlight that Labour some few weeks ago was engaged in a salary negotiation where government granted them some 23% for between January and June, and the implementation will begin from next year. While from July to December, they got some 25% in terms of adjustments in salary. But this afternoon, they're also raising concerns with regard to the increment announced by the PURC. If you can recall, consistently Labour has been calling on government to the PURC for them to have a drastic reduction in terms of the increases that they make. Because when you look at the quantum jump in terms of what Labour takes, as against what the PURC has announced, you realize that clearly it has a direct impact on what they receive from government. So basically what they're asking government to do, or the PURC to have a further reduction, so to not just the total earnings of workers, or else at the end of the day, the worker will receive an increment in salary. Then behind the back door, what they claim, then you have the PURC or have utility service providers who will be taking that increases from labor and they will come back to ground zero. These are the concerns of organized labor, and they are asking PURC to act very swiftly.
Right then, Daniel, many thanks for those updates. That's Daniel Opoku, is our Labour Affairs correspondent, providing quick reaction from labour groups to the recent adjustment as seen.
Listen, it's Black Friday and shoppers around the world are getting ready to cash in on the once-in-a-year discount stores that have to offer. Our Ashanti regional correspondent tells us shoppers are already lined up at one of Kumasi's biggest supermarkets. William Evans Inkum has been gauging the mood.
Well, so call it a good time to buy all your consumables, especially if you are a marginal consumer like myself. And here, this supermarket, it is the early bird. Some have taken opportunity of the Black Friday where prices of goods are slashed. And here, a number of consumables have had their prices slashed. At most by 50%.
Can I talk to you?
So what I have observed is that many of the consumers who are trooping in this particular supermarket, most of them are buying consumables, products like water, and of course soft drinks and what have you. With just about a month to Christmas, these are essential commodities to celebrate the Yuletide. And they are buying before time because they contemplate that prices are likely to go high, especially in an economy where food inflation has been increasing.
I was expecting them to open a bit early, but I didn't. But it's been okay. I only have some things to buy, and then up we go. And then hopefully next year will be better than this year.
About to gauge the mood here in the capital city, Accra. George Queenin has been to a few supermarkets. He's sharing what he's picked up with us. George, tell us where you are now and what the situation is with buyers.
Thank you so much, Keminni. I'm coming to you live from Christian Village here at Accra, and I'm at one of the branches of Hisense. So the much anticipated Friday sales is here with us, and it's actually traditionally marks the start of the Christmas sale. And here in Ghana, it's been part of us for a long time now. So people wait to buy in large quantities, whatever appliances or gadgets that they require, and there'll be no difference right here. And some people came here as early as 6 a.m. to take advantage of this very sales period. And some of them left very disappointed. The fact is, what they are not comfortable with is the fact that retail businesses take advantage of this very sales period where they buy larger quantities. For instance, if I'm a single person and I want to buy just an air conditioner, these retail businesses buy like 20 of them. So when they come, they are left with nothing.
Dang, we're unable to continue with George because of poor audio. But let us know how you're shopping this Black Friday. Are you buying anything, Mawuena?
I'm not buying anything. I mean, I don't know when Black Friday comes around. So I was just hit by it, like, came up and then I saw that it was Black Friday. I was like, okay,
I see.
I missed it completely.
I don't trust Black Friday, but I know it's a big thing around the world.
Yeah.
And we'll hear more.
Prices are expected to be cheaper, but you say you don't trust it because you have
not because
ideas.
It won't be cheap, but because you spend all your money.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
You might spend
you might overspend your budget.
Budget suffers.
Because December is a long time, January is longer.
Yeah, so it's the longest month in the year.
So use your money wisely. Use your money wisely. You're watching News Central. We'll be right back with more news. Don't go away.
This is Key Points, the #1 award-winning television news analysis program, providing an enlightened analysis of the key issues facing us as a country.
The key points of the stories that matter with the people who matter.
This is Key Points, the #1 award-winning television news analysis program, every Saturday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. on TV3 and on 3FM 92.7. TV3, first in news.
TV3 Mentor goes tribal this Sunday. Yes, it's Africa Night on TV3 Mentor Season 12. Come experience great tunes from the lengths and breadths of the continent, served out by our remaining contestants on the show. And yes, it's another Eviction Sunday.
The Ron K exits the contest tonight.
So get busy. Vote now to keep your favorite contestant in the competition and to win the ultimate mouth-watering prize package of over 150k worth of goodies and cash. Come join us this and every Sunday at TV3 Studio B at Desawe for the live musical experience. Studio audience must be seated by 7:30 p.m. sharp. Or catch the live show on TV at 8 p.m. on TV3. Mentor Season 12. The world awaits you.
Mentor is brought to you by Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Mosquito Coil and Napa Foods Sense Body Spray.
Bell Ice, Vitamilk, Dragnet, Pepsodent Charcoal and Lemon Infused Formula and Pepsodent Natural Herbal Formula. Darling Lemon Drink. Frutelli Calipo.
On Ephira this Friday.
Obey. I want more than 15 years now. Ma, 5 years to me, you know. Let them be a minimum you become just or charge me. Or charge me.
Charge you about 2 years.
No, me 2 years cancer, my from ba. Or if you 30, about 40. A 50, none answer. 50 to 100 Ghana.
This is embarrassment.
Hey!
This is embarrassment. Hey. Embarrassment.
Madam.
Embarrassment.
Madam. Ubaye me hu be brave. You so ya hwan. How ya Nigeria. Be ya no say your wife.
Okay.
Me bu hu be brave. Okay. Me bu me hu dia ye na be ye hu fi.
Ya hu fi.
Yesu na ewu na ye nya no ho fa so.
Okay.
Na nkwa na wu ma wa asendua no so madam.
Method, malaria game changer no.
Top code. Odium pepepe.
Ephira, this and every Friday at 8:30 p.m. on TV.
Tony Boo! Baby! Come!
Sekina is no longer coming to school because she's pregnant. My father will kill me if I drop out of school.
I have sex all the time. Have I become pregnant?
But you got STI.
We baba got you. Some new girl be where she come a brand in there. So this guy do sir employ this babe. Seriously, bro. I say why boy go employ girl for barber shop? He won't put you on be that.
Oh, sir, stop it.
Yeah, so you make sure that you have to take preps very seriously.
They've broken my locker, bro. How am I speaking?
What are you chatting with? Who's Kelly?
How far Emily body? I say me she come out, she do lock.
But can we meet her right now? No, you say me she come out.
Like make her take and go pay.
What are you doing here?
YOLO, you only live once.
YOLO Season 7 shows Fridays at 8 p.m. on TV3.
This week on Drama in the Kitchen. The claws are out when Kukwa, former girlfriend of celebrity artist Kweku Darlington, she'll be facing off with his current beau, Dede. She's short.
Yeah, and Kweku too like a tall and a giant lady. Oh, wow.
Whatever that happened in the past, She wasn't there for me.
And then it's now that you found fame that
but at least I give you,
hey. You are saying hey.
Would have Kweku been here? Man,
the big bites. Is it meal 1 or meal 2? Join us this week of Drama in the Kitchen. You don't want to miss it.
Drama in the Kitchen premiering Sunday 26th November at 4 p.m. on TV3. Brought to you by Tasty Tom.
This December, experience the wonders of the Harbour City Bazaar, the most anticipated SME fair from the 7th to the 10th of December 2023 at the TDC forecourt. Entrepreneurs, come showcase your business prowess at a cool 2,000 Ghana cedis. Food and drink vendors can secure a spot for only 1,000 Ghana cedis. And here's the spicy twist. Tema communities, assemble your cooking teams of 3 and compete for culinary glory. It's a feast of fun and commerce at the Harbour City Bazaar. Bazaar. To book a stand or to participate in the cooking contest, call 0532 200 927 or 0535 929 591. Save the date from 7th to the 10th of December 2023 at TDC Forecourt, where dreams meet opportunity.
3FM 92.7 in collaboration with the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
Still News Central here from our studios on the John Hammond Street. We're doing politics now because after 6 days of intense engagement in 3 regions aimed at crafting a manifesto, the NDC intends to use in propelling itself to power flag bearer John Mahama in an interaction with Komla Kluche is hopeful the NDC's message will be bought by voters come next year.
John Mahama paid particular attention to the suggestions from the people and took notes personally of them, even though he had assigned his handlers to record the inputs aimed at finding space in the People's Manifesto. The people themselves are treating the 2024 elections differently.
In case you be free, Minya also after Minya. Minya organization, send a baya, in the bay campaign about honorable John Dramani Mahama. Send a bay in the channel about now or tea about the president. Now a boy is used for. Then what did you John Mahama say? Or ban, you my pan was what the background. Mrs. Mitman, media met my own say. Minyanum, I'm not. Minyano met na wabo munyina no nya kwato abana nta be ni ma papa no met na de e bet na bo because e ha ma mo bon ya yetimu ipa de ya nchenji mu emwoye na kane na ma tisu na ni e chia 20 cities no ni e pe no e ti sa na ma so aba afa quality education ni afa no afa mraya na no ni ye nyira ya de ye pe.
A 6-day rigorous engagement that had some traditional rulers talking tough and taking on government over bad leadership, mobbed by sympathizers amidst cheers and a call for a comeback. John Mahama says he is energized and fulfilled.
I'm not new in politics. This is usual. We've been very well received, and I'm quite positive. We're just doing the tour, and it's been very successful so far. The enthusiasm is there. People are speaking their mind, and that is what I love. I love the frankness, and come with a story of hope that they shouldn't give up on our country. Ghana has a lot of potential. It's bad leadership that has brought us where we are, and we'll be able to pick up the pieces.
Komla Kluche, TV3 News, Ahafu-Gwoso.
Well, there's progress in the boundary dispute between Ghana and Ivory Coast. We're learning that the two are reaffirming their stakes along the mutual border. The border stretches from Newtown in Jomoro in Ghana's western region to Abligny, Côte d'Ivoire. The exercise is using legacy maps to identify the boundaries. Emmanuel Samani reports from the Ghana-Côte d'Ivoire border.
The Ghana Boundary Commission, in collaboration with the Ivorian counterparts, conducted a joint community sensitization exercise at Newtown. This event holds special significance as it not only reaffirms the established boundaries but also addresses past disputes, particularly concerning the ownership of oil resources. The effort undertaken by both nations aimed to create a lasting testament for future generations, solidifying the territorial understanding between Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire. The national coordinator of the Boundary Commission shared how the reaffirmation would work.
We are linking this reaffirmation with the international maritime boundary. We are doing the reaffirmation because we have quite a number of pillars, land pillars that have been temporarily removed. We are going to construct new boundary pillars. We'll construct main pillars, we'll construct intermediate pillars, and we'll construct border post pillars. In addition, we intend to construct a monument at Pillar 55, which is the terminating boundary to the sea, and a lighthouse that would aid the navigation of ships along the maritime boundary between Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire.
The significance of this joint effort is underscored by the commitment to erect a monument that will serve as a tangible symbol of the demarcation. MC for Jomoro, Lydia Adi, noted the monument is poised not to divide but to delineate, ensuring a clear understanding of where one nation ends and the other begins.
Today we came with the Cote d'Ivoire Boundary Commission as well as the Ghana National Boundary Commission to reaffirm that truly this is where the boundary is, and we are actually at the spots where Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire share a boundary. We wouldn't want a situation that in the future, when we are not there, our children would have to fight over this again.
The successful completion of the reaffirmation of the international land boundaries between Ghana and Ivory Coast will create a sense of cooperation, understanding, and harmony for the people of the two countries.
Now, CEO of Ghana Tourism Authority, Akwesi Ajiman, says Ghana is ready to host the rest of the world this December. The GTA is expecting some 115,000 holiday makers and tourists to visit the country in December for the much anticipated December in Ghana experience. And we're talking about this story because they will not be needing pre-approval visas before they get into this country. They can get it instantly. But listen, let's talk to somebody who knows more about this. Noella Donko will join us in a bit. Right now, let's take a listen to some of the things that we've been hearing so far from the GTA boss.
Akwaba to December in GH.
How many people are we expecting? I mean, we're almost in December. I'm sure that the holiday makers are already.
Our target for December is 115,000, but it ties into the whole year target of 1.2 million visitors coming into the country. As at the last quarter, we're closer to 800.
Oh, I see.
But I know that the last quarter is always when we get the huge numbers. So we are pushing on. We're not just targeting airport arrivals, we're also looking within the sub-region, Togo, Benin, Nigeria, how we can drive the numbers, because a lot of the events that are being done are events that are attracting people from the sub-region, and so that's what we are pushing.
Are we ready to host the rest of the world this December?
Oh, I mean, we've done this for 5 years, I mean, when it comes to December in GH, but even before then, we had groups like Akwaba, UK, Denisteria and Co. bring people to Ghana. So we have a track record of that. We are working with the event organizers. We've met with the IGP. He asked that everybody presents their security plan.
Yeah.
That will be tied into what the police will do.
Oh, I see.
And then they were going to give us coordinators for each region. So if it's Ashanti region, all the event organizers, you know your point person, the number of men you need for the day. And you also have to have your own security plan, and then they will work with you. Today, we have a meeting with national security and the hoteliers because people are coming, they will stay in hotels, they will stay in facilities that also need some kind of security.
Yes.
So we are doing all that, but I believe that, like the national security campaign is saying, if you see something, say something. We are in a sub-region that is a bit challenged in terms of security, and so we need to be very, very careful.
Yeah.
As we open our doors, more people are coming in. You could have people with dubious character also coming, and so it's a shared responsibility, but I believe that given the track record that we will have a very good December.
Beyond the return.
CEO of the GTA there in a conversation with Bella Mundiba. Noella is here. She'll tell us a bit more about the December in Ghana experience. Noella, thanks for coming. It's good to see you again.
Well, most definitely.
What else has he been saying about, December in Ghana?
Well, this morning on the New Day show, like you just mentioned, CEO was there. Bugod was also there, and then there was also a CEO of one of the, security services. Now, we're very much aware that a couple of months, just a month or two ago, the police met with some stakeholders from the creative space with regards to December in Ghana festivities. And so people are coming. Like they said, they're expecting about 115,000, but for the whole year is 1.2 million.
Wow.
So that means December is going to be one thing that we should look forward to. So a lot of things that they spoke about. So they spoke about the protests that people are planning, the fact that even though, yes, everybody has a right to, protest, they feel that that is not the best time, because at that time, they're also focusing on other events. So they were pleading with the team if they could push it. Aside that, there was also an issue of the fact that the events that pull people to Ghana now do not have, you know, the necessary support. And so they're not able to organize it and do it as well as they want to. Because, I mean, definitely, year one, you're going to do it from your pocket, year two, your pocket. It gets to a point where you get tired. So Baba Sadiq was calling on, you know, the state to step in because these are the events that bring the tourists into the country, increases revenue one way or the other. So he called on them to, you know, step in and help out with that. So that's definitely going to be the next story that will be taking it. So the media and entertainment entrepreneur, Baba Sadiq Abdullah Abu, has lamented the lack of sponsorship for the major events that asserts Ghana's position as a holiday maker spot on the continent. Now, he wants the state to step in and support event organizers.
How has funding and sponsorship been like for you as an event organizer?
Well, it's very, very, very crazy. And I was having a conversation. I mean, I'm sure last week, for instance, you all saw the conversations myself, the Afro Future Boys, and all that we're having on Twitter, for instance. It's crazy. I've always made the point that the sponsorship market is almost non-existent in the country. And Akwesi knows one of the companies that he's been long associated to, even before he got into government, had to cancel an event, the Legends Night. Part of the reasons they had to cancel the event when you go into it is sponsorship. Then there are other regulatory conversations as well. You know, the FDA, for instance, you saw that industry is in court with the FDA, for instance, trying to clarify the way they're executing their mandates, for instance. The Gaming Commission is heavy on marketing relating to talent and everything. These are all conversations on things that continues to impact sponsorship in the market. So the sponsorship market is non-existent. One of the sponsors that we're having, prospective sponsors we're having conversations with, had to decline in the last few weeks, even though they were interested to discuss money, because pretty much they couldn't get the much needed, approvals from the board and executive of the organization. So this leaves us with our own investment and money having to go into these particular festivals. Well, like Akwesi said, the revenue lines available for us from our events is tickets, is sponsorships, and commercial tie-ins. So if the commercial tie-ins is gone, it leaves us with only tickets or gates.
I see. And Mawuena, there were also conversations about security during this period.
Yes, I mean, Bogod mentioned that he disagreed with the IGP when he mentioned that they should push the protests. He felt that they should just be honest and say that they don't have the manpower, they don't have enough people to help with the protests, and so that's why they need to push it. But the reason that the IGP gave for that, he really didn't, you know, it didn't sit well with him. So I also think that, you know, what Sadiq mentioned is long overdue, because definitely the events are not just for the people, but it's just for the state and in general. So,
Mawuena, thank you for bringing us the entertainment wrap on Friday.
Most definitely.
Again, let's see you again next week, please.
I will do my best.
All right, Mawuena, don't call there. But we'll tell you what, elsewhere, former Paralympic champion Oscar Pistorius could be a free man soon. A parole board has set his release for 5th January after nearly 11 years after murdering his girlfriend, Riva Steenkamp. Pistorius shot his then-girlfriend multiple times through a bathroom door on Valentine's Day in 2013. He later claimed he mistook Steenkamp for a burglar. In 2016, a South African court sentenced Pistorius to 13 years in prison. Well, that story is one that is making waves in South Africa right now. And, well, we hope that the family of Steenkamp feel they got some justice. 11 years in prison.
11 years in prison. It's been an interesting story from when he went back. He attempted to
parole before, and he was denied.
Earlier was denied.
True.
And so, like you said, hopefully that's enough justice for the family of Steenkamp. And that's our bulletin for you today and this week altogether. The weekend is here, like I always love to say on a Friday. Enjoy it as much as you can. I am Mawuena Egbeta.
There's always more news on 3news.com. I'm Keminni. Amanor. Bye-bye.